festival of summer came to the city of Melas, bright tower by the sea. There was just enough wind to make the banners snap and flutter now and then. One could hear a cheerful, faint sweetness of the air trembling and breaking out into the great, joyous clanging of the bells. Joyous. How is one to tell about joy? How describe the city of Omelas? They were not simple folk, you see, though they were happy. Given a description such as this, one tends to look next for the king, mounted on a stallion and surrounded by knights. But there was no king. They did not use swords or keep slaves. As they did without monarchy and slavery, so they also got on without the stock exchange, the advertisement, the secret police, and the bomb. Yet I repeat that these were not simple folk. They were not less complex than us. The trouble is that we have a bad habit of considering happiness as something rather stupid. Only pain is intellectual, only evil interesting. How can I tell you about the people of Omelas? They were not naive, they were mature, intelligent, passionate adults. But I wish I could describe it better.
I wish I could convince you. Perhaps it would be best if you imagined it as your own fancy bids. For instance, how about technology? I think that there would be no cars or helicopters in and above the streets. They could perfectly well have central heating, subway trains, washing machines, and all kinds of marvelous devices not yet invented here. Floating light sources, fuel-less power, a cure for the common cold. Or they could have none of that. It doesn't matter. I fear that Omelas so far strikes some of you as goody-goody. Smiles, bells, parades, horses, blah. If so, please add an orgy. If an orgy would help, don't hesitate. And let the offspring of these delightful rituals be beloved and looked after by all. One thing I know there is none of in Omelas is guilt. But what else should there be? The sense of victory, surely. The celebration of courage. But let us do without soldiers. A boundless and generous contentment, a magnanimous triumph, felt not against some outer enemy, but in communion with the finest and fairest in the souls of all men everywhere, and the splendor of the world's summer. This is what swells in the hearts of the people of Omelas, and the victory they celebrate is that of life. Do you believe? Do you accept the festival? The city? The joy? No? Then let me describe one more thing.
In a basement, under one of the beautiful public buildings of Omelas, there is a room. It has one locked door and no window. A little light seeps in dustily between cracks in the boards, second-hand from a cobwebbed window somewhere across the cellar. In one corner of the little room, a couple of mops with stiff, clotted, foul-smelling heads stand near a rusty bucket. The floor is dirt, a little damp to the touch,
as cellar dirt usually is.
The room is a mere broom closet or disused tool room. In the room, a child is sitting. It could be a boy or a girl. It looks about 6, but actually is nearly 10. It is feeble-minded. Perhaps it was born defective. Or perhaps it has become imbecile through fear, malnutrition, and neglect. It picks its nose and occasionally fumbles vaguely with its toes or genitals as it sits hunched in the corner farthest from the bucket and the 2 mops. It is afraid of the mops. It finds them horrible. It shuts its eyes, but it knows the mops are still standing there, and the door is locked, and nobody will come. The door is always locked, and nobody ever comes.
Except that sometimes the child has no understanding of time or interval. Sometimes the door rattles terribly and opens, and a person or several people are there. One of them may come in and kick the child to make it stand up. The others never come close, but peer in at it with frightened, disgusted eyes. The food bowl and the water jug are hastily filled. The door is locked. The eyes disappear. The people at the door never say anything, but the child, who has not always lived in the tool room and can remember sunlight and its mother's voice, sometimes speaks. "I will be good," it says. "Please let me out. I will be good." They never answer. The child used to scream for help at night and cry a good deal, but now it only makes a kind of whining, and it speaks less and less often. It is so thin that there are no calves to its legs. Its belly protrudes, It lives on a half bowl of cornmeal and grease a day. It is naked. Its buttocks and thighs are a mass of festered sores, as it sits in its own excrement continually. They all know it is there, all the people of Omelas. Some of them have come to see it, others are content merely to know it is there. They all know that it has to be there. Some of them understand why, and some do not, but they all understand that their happiness, the beauty of their city, the tenderness of their friendships, depend wholly on this child's abominable misery. This is usually explained to children when they are between 8 and 12. Often enough, an adult comes back to see the child. No matter how well the matter has been explained to them, these young spectators are always shocked and sickened at the sight. They would like to do something for the child, but there is nothing they can do. To exchange all the goodness and grace of every life in Omelas for that single small improvement, that would be to let guilt within the walls indeed. Often the adults go home in tears or in a tearless rage. When they have seen the child and faced this terrible paradox, they may brood over it for weeks or years. They may brood, but as time goes on, their tears at the bitter injustice dry when they begin to perceive the terrible justice of reality and to accept it. They know that they, like the child, are not free. Now, do you believe them? Are they not more credible? But there is one more thing to tell. At times, one of the adults who goes to see the child does not go home to weep or rage, does not, in fact, go home at all. They keep walking and walk straight out of the city of Omelas, through the beautiful gates. Night falls. The traveler must pass down village streets, between the houses with yellow-lit windows, and on out into the darkness, each alone. Towards the mountains they go on. They leave Omelas, and they do not come back. The place they go towards is a place even less imaginable to most of us than the city of happiness. I cannot describe it at all. It is possible that it does not exist, but they seem to know where they are going, the ones who walk away from Omelas. So that's called The Ones Who Walk Away from Omelas. It's by Ursula K. Le Guin, and it was written in 1973. This is the first of many creepy stories that I will be telling throughout the next hour. Just to say a little bit more about the stories I've selected, all I can really say is that when I was in 8th grade, I had the best English teacher of my life. His name is Mr. Arenas, and he dedicated an entire unit to creepiness and what it means to write something creepily. It's not always about murder or serial killers or torture. It's also just about tweaking something, making something that is generally normal into something just a little bit off. And that's how you create the genre of creepiness. It's not about jump scares and horror. It's about taking that regular everyday thing and giving something to it that makes everybody question why. Why would you do something like that? That's creepy. was Gift by Tujiko Noriko. All of the songs selected are also in the same vein as the stories. Normal songs that maybe have one element that is tweaked to make it a bit creepy. Thus, the theme of the show.
Я здесь ничей и не зачем.
January 26th, 2 days since the storm washed me up. I paced the island off just this morning. Some island. It's 190 paces wide at its thickest point and 267 paces long from tip to tip. So far as I can tell, there is nothing on it to eat. My name is Richard Pine. This is my diary. If I'm found, when? I can destroy this easily enough. There is no shortage of matches. Matches and heroin. Plenty of both. Neither of them worth doodly squat here, haha. So I will write. It will pass the time anyway. If I'm to tell the whole truth, and why not? I sure have the time. I'll have to start by saying I was born Richard Pinzetti in New York's Little Italy. I wanted to be a surgeon. My father would laugh, call me crazy, and tell me to get him another glass of wine. He died of cancer when he was 46. I was glad. In med school, while the other suckers were running themselves ragged trying to bone up, no pun intended, haha, between waiting tables or selling neckties or buffing floors, I kept the rackets going. Football pools, basketball pools, a little policy. I stayed on good terms with the old neighborhood. And I got through school just fine. I didn't get into pushing until I was doing my residency. I was working in one of the biggest hospitals in New York City, and after a while, I found out just how much of a balls up the hospital drug room was in. Nobody knew what was coming in or going out. There were people lugging the goodies out by the double handfuls. Not me. I was careful. I never got into trouble till I got careless. And unlucky. But I'm going to land on my feet. I always do. January 28th. Well, I've eaten, if you want to call that eating. There was a gull perched on one of the rocks at the center of the island. I caught a handful of its tail feathers and it turned around and pecked me. Then I had one hand around its feet. I got my other hand on its miserable neck and broke it. The sound gave me great satisfaction. Lunch is served, you know. Haha. Can you imagine that bird almost breaking my ankle and then pecking me? If I catch another one tomorrow, I'll torture it. I let this one off too easily. Even as I write, I am able to glance down at its severed head on the sand, its black eyes. Even with the death glaze on them, they seem to be mocking me. February 1st. There was a plane. It flew right across the island. I tried to climb to the top of the rock pile and wave to it, and my foot went into the hole. The same damn hole I got stuck in the day I killed the first bird, I think. I fractured my ankle. Compound fracture. It went like a gunshot. The pain was unbelievable. I screamed and lost my balance, pinwheeling my arms like a madman, but I went down and hit my head and everything went black. I didn't wake up until dusk. I lost some blood where I hit my head. My ankle had swelled up like a tire, and I'd got myself a very nasty sunburn. Dragged myself back here and spent last night shivering and crying with frustration. I disinfected the head wound, which is just above the right temporal lobe, and bandaged it as well as I could. Just a superficial scalp wound plus minor concussion, I think. But my ankle, it's a bad break. Involved in 2 places, possibly 3. How will I chase the birds now? February 4th. I've decided to amputate my foot. No food, 4 days now. If I wait any longer, I run the risk of fainting from combined shock and hunger in the middle of the operation and bleeding to death. The pain was the part I was most worried about, but the heroin solved that quite nicely. I had nodded off. I had never dreamed that it could be so beautiful, and I can't understand why I was so scornful before. The pain, the terror, the misery, they all disappear, leaving only a calm euphoria. It was in this state that I operated. First of all, you're probably not a surgeon. Even if you knew the mechanics of amputation, you might have botched the job so badly you would have bled to death anyway. And even if you had lived through the operation and the shock trauma, the thought might never have entered your preconditioned head. Never mind, no one has to know. My last act before leaving the island will be to destroy this book. I was very careful. I washed it thoroughly. I washed it so thoroughly
before I ate it.
February 7th. Pain from the stump has been bad, excruciating from time to time, but I think the deep-seated itch as the healing process begins has been worse. Several times I've come close to ripping the shirt bandage off the stump and scratching at it, digging my fingers into the soft, raw flesh, pulling out the rough stitches, letting the blood gout onto the sand, anything, to be rid of that maddening, horrible itch. At those times, I count backward from 1 to 100 and snort heroin. I have no idea how much I've taken into my system, but I do know I've been stoned almost continually since the operation. It depresses hunger, you know? I'm hardly aware of being hungry at all. There is a faint, faraway gnawing in my belly, and that's all. It could easily be ignored. I can't do that, though. Heroin has no measurable caloric value. I've been testing myself, crawling from place to place, measuring my energy.
It's epic.
Dear God, I hope not, but another operation may be necessary. February 9th.
I've amputated my left foot and have bandaged it with my pants.
Strange. All through the operation, I was drooling. Just like when I saw the gull.
Drooling helplessly.
But I made myself wait until after dark. I just counted backward from 1 to 100. 20 or 30 times, haha. Then I kept telling myself, cold roast beef, cold roast beef.
Cold roast beef.
February 17th.
Took off my right leg at the knee, but lost a lot of blood.
Pain excruciating in spite of heroin. Shock trauma would have killed a lesser man. Let me answer with a question. How badly does the patient want to survive?
How badly does the patient want to live?
Hands trembling. If they are betraying me, I'm through. They have no right to betray me. No right at all. I've taken care of them all their lives, pampered them. They better not, or
they'll be sorry.
February? Question mark?
Took the other leg at the knee.
Sleepy all day. Doctor, was this operation necessary? Haha. Shaky hands like an old man. Hate them. Blood under the fingernails. Scabs. Remember that model in med school with the glass belly? I feel like that. Only I don't want to look. No way, no how. I remember Dom used to say that. Waltz up to you on the street corner in his Highway Outlaws Club jacket, and you'd say, Dom, how'd you make out with her? And Dom would say, no way, no how. She, old Dom, I wish I'd stayed right in the neighborhood. This sucks so bad, as Dom would say. Ha ha. But I understand, that with the proper therapy and prosthetics, I could be as good as new. I could come back here and tell people, this
is where it happened.
Ha 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 ha. February 23rd, question mark. Found a dead fish, rotten and stinking.
Ate it anyway.
Wanted to puke, wouldn't let myself.
I will survive.
So lovely stoned. the sun sets. February. Don't dare but have to. But how can I tie off the femoral artery that high up? It's as big as a fucking turnpike up there. Must, somehow. I've marked across the top of the thigh, the part that is still meaty. I made the mark with this pencil.
I wish I could stop drooling.
February. Looked at my face in the water today. Nothing but a skin-covered skull. Am I insane yet? I must be. I'm a monster now. A freak. Nothing left below the groin. Just a freak. A head attached to a torso, dragging itself along the sand by the elbows. A crab. A stoned crab. Isn't that what they call themselves now?
Hey man, I'm just a poor stoned crab. Can you spare me a dime?
They say that you are what you eat, and if so, I haven't changed a bit. February 40th? Dreaming about my father. When he was drunk, he lost all his English. Not that he had anything worth saying anyway, fucking dipstick. I was so glad to get out of your house, Daddy, you fucking greaseball dipstick. Nothing, cipher, zilcho, zero. I knew I'd made it. I walked away from you, didn't I? I walked on my hands. But there's nothing left for them to cut off. Yesterday, I took my earlobes. Left hand watches the right. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. We've got a refrigerator with a storm or door. Ha ha ha. Who cares? This hand or that. Good food, good meat, good God, let's eat. Ladyfingers. They taste just like ladyfingers. That was one of Stephen King's first ever short horror stories in his career, published in 1982. It's called Survivor Type. This was a short excerpt. It's actually 30 pages long. Very worth the read. If anybody wants a free download of this story, message me.
know it's me. They just hate them on them cause they started out here locally. Hopefully, I'll be at the top soon. For now, I'm at my house, on my couch, watching cartoons. You know how much you love it when you get up in abundance. Give a fuck about the budget when you always be the subject of discussion. But it's nothing when you stop and just say fuck it. Cause you're hearing talking rubbish and you're walking out in public. I just wanna ride the city in the curves. Find a big crowd there somewhere, get my nuts kissed. That's the way it goes when you party just like I do. Bitches on my dick, they used to have me up in high school. Take over the world when my mama Donald Trump shit. Take it all this money, ain't that some shit? Take over the world when I'm on my Donald Trump shit. Take it all this money, ain't that some shit? We gon' take over the world while these haters getting mad. That's my all my bitches bad ladies. Crazy life I had a day of we gon' win, we gon' legalize a draw. Put that in, got these hoes used to brush me off in school.
This last story that I'll be sharing in this hour is an original work, and it's called Sporting Furs with Tracy. I wasn't thinking when I put on my new fur coat before going to the hospital. I inch through the painfully slow revolving door, work out the receptionist's uncertain directions to the psych ward, and pass patients with walkers, oxygen tanks, scowls, and hospital gowns. By then, I realized sporting the fur might have been tacky. My sister Tracy receives me at the ward's entrance, her smile tight and neat, like she prepared it last night before serving it on her polished face. 3 years my senior, but the flash of her endearing gap teeth, never fixed for lack of dental insurance in our childhoods, still cements her at 33, even in the mugshot photo displayed on her wristband, with dark bags under bloodshot eyes and disheveled hair, which is always a bit disheveled because she dons a wolf cut, but now it's a bit less on purpose. I scold myself for thinking of her appearance while she's going through a hard time, although I can't help but notice the awkwardness of her hands in her sweatpants pockets, which are too small to fit her thumbs and force her elbows to bend out from her slouched torso like she's gripping an invisible belt with little to no suave. That invisible belt, if I continue down this little path of thought, could very well have a handcrafted sterling silver buckle with my initials engraved in a wreath of clematis vines. That buckle, which has been missing from my home ever since Tracy admitted herself last fall. Now it's spring, and I want to wear my culottes, which sag at the waist, so I'm paying my dear sister a first visit. She tells me she likes my fur. I tell her I like her zip-up hoodie. We don't know what else to lie about, so she gives me a tour of the ward. There's the art room and gym room, both windowless, the common room and her bedroom, windows but barred, the smoking room, where the door is a giant window, the nurse's office, which has sliding windows, the common room again because she forgot she already showed me. She points out every patient and her nicknames: Blaze, Sleepy Queen, Mother, Happy Drunk, Rap God, Lesbiana, Twitchy. In her reality show, she lets the audience decide their favorite. I tell her I think Twitchy is giving her the eyes. She tells me I'm being disrespectful. People always said that my sister and I didn't look alike, but that we matched. Her complexion is paler than mine, her nose and forehead broader, legs longer, feet bigger, like a stretched out version of me that lightens the material of her skin. But we have the same pointiness, our shoulders, collarbones, our breasts especially, which is how Martin Webster described both mine and hers in 9th grade. Seeing Tracy now with her bent posture and cloddish walk, I felt she had stretched out even further, while I had only compressed. My neck and wrists just barely poking out from the tufts of fur at my collar and cuffs. I pitied her, but not as much as myself for coming here to ask for something. I live comfortably, let it be known. I never need to ask my sister for anything.
But she owes me my buckle.
I didn't realize immediately that she took it. She was staying with me while her apartment was under renovation. I wondered why she didn't ask a friend, since by then we only spoke during the holidays. I mainly busied myself outside the house those days. Eventually, she announced the renovations were complete and left. Later, I was looking for my buckle, annoyed that I had seen it in my closet a few days prior. So annoyed that I started thinking who I could accuse of moving it.
I can't fully recall the rage I felt when I thought of Tracy, just that it made a sharp ringing in my ear that stayed all day.
I don't know why those memories are partially blocked. I think everyone has this sometimes. Some parts of childhood I forget.
I wonder if I'll remember this visit.
I didn't ask anything from Tracy for staying with me. Tracy, who in our childhoods always took the bigger portion of pear crumble after dinner. I drove to her building that day with little thought. I didn't question any other possibility because she always felt entitled to my things as children, like my medieval edition Playmobil with which she claimed she could make better pretend games than me. When I arrived at her dingy apartment, I saw the eviction notice. I hammered my fist against the door, first one, then both, repeatedly and harder, until a piece of wood cracked off and sliced my knuckles. I watched them bleed on the white notice. I banged more on the door. Maybe I was screaming her name. I can't remember. More cuts opened. My hands unclenched and ran down the cracked chips of the door, bloody trails following. I straightened back up. Her entrance was covered in red streaks. My hands throbbed, but I hardly felt any pain.
No one got me into such fits besides Tracy.
It's why I stopped speaking to her outside the holidays. She drives me crazy. But I don't belong in this ward. No, I know how to control myself. We walk on a plastic floor and pass posters with colorful graphics that give me information for if I'm afraid of needles, if I don't know the parts of the brain, if I want to hurt myself, if I want to hurt others, if I can't swallow big pills, if I struggle with addiction, if I have body image issues, if I'm depressed, anxious, manic, suicidal, withdrawing, relapsing, or just need an inspirational quote. I clutch my fur.